Everyone, welcome back to today's video. Sorry if you hear any background noise. I'm on vacation, like I said before, and it's raining out right now, and I think the rain's about to pick up. So if you hear that, I apologize for that in advance. But today we're going over Steve Bullock, the governor from the state of Montana, a state that Trump won overwhelmingly, but Bullock won the same exact year that Trump won, and more people voted in the governor race in Montana than they did in the presidential race, which I thought was a little surprising. But yeah, so it's just the electoral map. It's just going to be 2020, whether or not I think Steve Bullock or Donald Trump would win. Right now, as I'm looking at it, Steve Bullock would probably be one of the most liked Democratic candidates. He would be liked by conservatives. He would be liked by moderates, independents, because he is not fully progressive left. The progressive left, like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, will pull down the Democratic Party down to extinction and pretty much split the party into two different parties, and Republicans will hold all houses of Congress for the White House, Congress, governorships for probably decades to come if the Democratic Party splits. So right now the Democratic Party is between a moderate left, the moderates, and then the progressives. Really, if the progressives were to nominate someone and they were overwhelmed the Democratic Party, I really think that could cause them to lose the election, because the majority of the country is not progressive. The majority of the country is moderate. They are in the middle. They are centrist. They are independents. Plus, Democrats really need to get someone who will excite the base, someone who will actually win more than just votes that they're expected to win. They can't just say, hey, Trump's bad, vote for me. They need to do more than that. They need to talk policy. They need to nominate someone who is liked. So right now Steve Bullock has an unknown name. I think it will be really unlikely for him to win the nomination, but if he does win the nomination, all bets are off. I'm just saying he'll probably win the election. I mean, I think he'll do really well. In Montana, he has a 59% approval rating as of April. I think that's gone up from now. But the fact that it's over 50% for a Democratic governor who got elected the same year Trump got elected, well, not elected, sorry, he won the governor spot the same year Trump won the election in the same exact ballot. So Montana isn't really a down party voting area. They really split the ticket. I mean, they have one Democratic senator, so it's just really, it's different. Stranger things happen in politics. Right now, I'm just going to give all the states that would solidly go to Bullock. Right now, North Dakota I'll leave as a toss-up. South Dakota and Nebraska, I'm definitely going to leave that one congressional district up. As I was reading through some of these comments, we were talking about how Steve Bullock could best appeal to the residents in Florida, like people that are on Medicaid, and I don't have the name at the top of my head. I just had it at the tip of my tongue. Sorry, but whoever commented the really in-depth paragraph about why people like senior citizens would vote for Bullock over Trump in like states like Florida because of his expanding of Medicaid. He's pro-choice, which I think might hurt him in states like Florida, but he's pro-reproductive rights actually, but pro-women's rights, pro-LGBT, so I think that'll hurt him in some conservative states, which is why I gave all the conservative states that voted for Trump to him, except for Montana, North Dakota, Indiana, and I'm not going to touch the swing states for now. Really, these are all states that would solidly go for Trump regardless. I mean, there's even a point when Texas was a toss-up in the 2016 election, which is going to be a part of my new series once I reach 1,000 subscribers about the Trump White House and reasons why Trump won and what Democrats need to do next time. I mean, actually, I'm not going to go too much into it, but yeah. So pretty much all the safe Democratic states, the white working class would love Bullock. I mean, he is the perfect candidate for them. He's like the Democrats that they voted for before. They trusted with their votes, and then Hillary Clinton, of course, took the gut shot for the Democratic Party. The Rust Belt said, no, we're not going to vote for you anymore unless you start making serious party changes. You start focusing on our jobs rather than focusing on bashing the other candidate. Really, the 2016 election was she's worse, he's worse, things like that. There wasn't really any huge policy talk. I mean, if the Clinton campaign went up to Wisconsin after the convention, then I definitely think they would have won Wisconsin. I mean, it was by such a small margin in all of these states. Just a few more focusing on the Rust Belt. I mean, they completely forgot about the Rust Belt except for Pennsylvania until the final home stretch when they went back to Michigan, but they didn't even touch Wisconsin. They thought that their poll numbers were so high. But again, that's for another video. Indiana, I'm just going to give to Trump because of Vice President Mike Pence, but I think that a lot of the working class voters, especially around Ohio and Michigan and Indiana, would vote for Bullock instead of voting for Trump like they did in 2016. Arizona and Georgia, I think, would stay because I don't see Bullock exciting the base to a point where he would spike minority turnout, but I think he would spike white working class turnout, which isn't really that prominent in Arizona and Georgia. They're not really prominent Democratic voters, whereas the Latino population in Arizona and the African American population in Georgia would really flip. One of these states, North Carolina, I don't see flipping. Neither do I see Iowa flipping, just because of the fact that it. Actually, I'm going to leave Iowa as a toss-up. I'm going to come back to that one, actually. Montana, I'm going to call for Bullock because of his approval rating there and the fact that he's very much liked in the state. In New Mexico, Colorado, and Nevada, I definitely see these states staying blue because the white working class, and I think that Bullock, since he is a conservative Democrat, I think he would have to pick a VP who's, he's not conservative, he's moderate. I think he would have to pick a VP who's more on the progressive side of the spectrum, but not someone like Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren. I think someone like maybe Kamala Harris. Terry McAuliffe is an amazing VP choice for anyone who runs. That just pretty much solidifies Virginia, and they just need to focus on the Rust Belt in order to win. But they can't forget about Nevada and Colorado. Remember, those almost flipped. North Dakota, I'm going to leave red, but I do think that one will be close because I think the needs of North Dakotan citizens are the same as Montana. I don't know what the name is for it, but Montana citizens. In Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District, sorry, I keep marking the 3rd for some reason. I definitely see that one going to Bullock because the white working class here would be energized for Bullock rather than Trump again. And I think that he would have an Obama-type effect, not with minority turnout, but with white working class turnout. I think he will spike it up for the Democrats. And I think he'll definitely carry the Rust Belt. That puts him 4 electoral votes away from the presidency. I'm just going to call it now. He wins the presidency. He takes New Hampshire. I'm going to come back to New Hampshire in a second. Wisconsin, I definitely see flipping back to the Democratic side if Trump doesn't follow through with 100% of his promises. Right now, his approval rating is below 50% in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. And nationally, it's even lower. Really, these states are lashing back at Donald Trump for not fixing their economic problems right away. I mean, Indiana lashed back at Obama in 2012 extremely fast. So, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, all 3 of these states are definitely ones that I would see flipping back to the Democratic side if Trump doesn't follow through with his promises. And Bullock would definitely spike the white working class vote, including in New Hampshire, which is why I'm going to give it to Bullock. It went for Clinton. And I think Bullock is a much better candidate than Clinton was if we're talking about appealing to citizens across the country. So I think that Trump, although Iowa may be close, I think Trump will narrowly hold on to it. Remember, he won Iowa more than he won Texas, which is saying something considering Texas has been safe red, and Iowa has been leaning blue in 2008 and 2012, which is now solidly red, whereas Texas is leaning red. So demographics are a tricky thing. Republicans are going to have a huge uphill climb in the future for demographics. Texas, Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina, all states with growing minority populations, definitely could see flipping to the Democrats in 2024. California is growing growing population of Latinos and Filipinos. I definitely would see that state not flipping anytime soon, along with Florida, growing Latino population. So in my 2024 election videos, which is upcoming, I'm also going to come up with Caroline Kennedy and more things that I'm going to comment below. So yeah, it's just pretty much just a whole list of what I'm going to go through, but I'm definitely going off suggestions. This one was a suggestion, which is why I did it. In Florida, like I said, the senior citizen vote, I definitely would see put Bullock over the top here, but he already was over the top. But really, that one would just add to his electoral count. In Ohio, I don't really see flipping, just because of the fact that Ohio went for Trump, again, overwhelmingly, just 1% less than Texas did. I see a state like Florida flipping, but I don't see a state like Ohio, which overwhelmingly voted for Trump. I think Trump will win the state by less than 2%, but I definitely think that he would hold on to the state. I don't see it flipping unless it's someone who can appeal to the working class and minorities. So thank you all for watching. I reached 410 subscribers today, and I can't wait to reach 420 and then to 430. So thank you all for that. Like I said, I'm going to go on to Caroline Kennedy next, and then we're going to go through a couple more suggestions. I don't have them on the top of my head right now, but I do have them. I'm going to have them in the comments below, and I'm going to have you guys suggest new ideas for new videos, because I really love all these ideas. They're really fun to research, to find the approval ratings, to find the demographic changes, and it's really fun. Like I said, I'm going to be moving on to my new series at 1,000 subscribers, which will be a monumental milestone for me. And 2024 election predictions upcoming soon, using the 270 to win political map that has the estimated electoral vote changes. So yeah, so thank you all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.